Right, I'm just going to do a bit of tidying up because the workbench is still shit up from servicing the Suzuki Phyllis. A bit of greasage on the lengage. So I'm just going to spend 10 minutes tidying up. I'm going to get Phyllis back on the ramp because I need to replace the headlight bulb because the low beam's gone, and I'm probably going to put a slightly more powerful bulb on. They're recommending the manual not to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm a knob. And then I've got some mirror extenders that have come from Alchemy Parts, who are apparently a scooterist's shop. So I'm going to fit those, and I've also, arriving either sort of today or tomorrow, I've got a universal screen coming for her, which will make her an aerodynamic masterpiece. So I'm going to crack on starting to tidy up, and then I'll bring you back when she's back on the ramp. Right, according to the manual, to get access to the headlight, it's these two screws, screw there, and some plastic ones either side of the cowl. Then it should allow us to remove as views this cowl here, and the headlight should come away. The only problem I can foresee, mirrors are in the way. Yeah. But I've got some mirror extenders which I need to fit anyway, so I'm going to spin the mirrors out, and then I'll probably leave those off until the screen arrives. Let's get on with it. Okay, we've got the cowl split, and I've released that cowl here. While everything's apart, I'm going to take the opportunity to drop some oil down the speedo cable. I might just take the instrument cluster off. I think that's all that's holding it on now is actually the cable. The loom plugs look pretty good. Look at the spiderage. Yeah, it's a long time since this has been cracked open, let's put it that way. But it does give me a chance to check all the connectors over for any corrosion. The only stuff I saw, there's a bit of muck in this one. I think this one's okay. Let's have a look. But initially I can't see any green nastage, and I'll put some dielectric grease down these and stop them corroding in the first place. So once I've split this down a little bit more, I'll bring it back, because that's what I do. Yeah. Oh, by the way, breakfast today was toast, and today's beverage of choice with breakfast was orange juice. See, you need this information. An interesting spot. This is for the left hand clusterage. This is the light switch. That is... no, that's lights. That is turn signal, and that is the horn of horniness. Can you see something on the connectors? Yes, they're moist. Yeah, there's water in the connectors. Yeah, that's water. I did try and get some WD-40 in there, but that only went inside the switch and you don't get round the back. So yeah, we'll get some water dispersant on there, get some dielectric grease on there, and then with any luck the light switch will actually work properly. But what I'm going to do, the clusterage is down here, is I'm going to pop those switches off and just see if we can clean them up inside and what have you. But yeah, I mean, look at this. This is the nakedness of the Suzuki address. This is for the starter. That one there, that was dry. That was fine. I might even just split the top of the throttle housing and just introduce some light oil down into the cables. And then, I know I've done it then. Give all this alloy a spray with GT85, clean it up a bit with a shop rag, blue towel, and then I know it's done then. You know what I mean? I know I've done my bit, if you know what I see. If you know what I see, what are you on about, Jim? Speak fucking English, will you? Right. So we're going to crack on, and well, if I bring you back, depends on my mood, doesn't it? You know what I mean? I've loosely put everything back together. I've not screwed the top cowl on yet. And we'll see if we've got a low beam. So I just put you over here. Oh, no. Oh, can you see? It should come on with ignition at start. That should be high. I suspect it's the bulb, because going from the low beam position to the high beam position is probably a bit of a built-in safety or something, but only the high beam coming on. So it looks like I need a bulb. Now, do I replace it with a high-low beam LED? Don't know. Anyway, at least we've sort of done the anti-corrosion shit all behind anyway, so that's all good, and everything's working, indicators, starter and all that lot. So I'd say that was partial success, and because I need a bulb, I'm not going to screw it back together, because there's not much point till the bulb comes, and I've got to fit the screen anyway. That will probably that utilises these mirror mounts. So shall I tag the screen on? Yes, because it should be here either today or tomorrow. So I may as well just add it onto this video. Yes. Yes, I'm back in the shed. I'm recording this tagged on to the other bit I've recorded, which I've probably said that I'm going to tag on and record. Anyway, my screen should be here today, but I have just noticed from the seller that they've sent it via Yodel. There is a tracking number. I've had a look at the tracking number, and the tracking ends at their depot, so fuck knows when that's coming. I mean, if it's Yodel, it could be 3 months. Shite. Anyway, I just thought I'd do a couple of little more jobs on the Suzuki while it's on the ramp, and I noticed something the other day. Yes. Yes. I think that is fixed. Yes, it's past its best. Anyway, guess the price, brand new from Suzuki, or rather one of Suzuki's dealers in the United Kingdom network. That's right, you were wrong. £5. Everything on this bike isn't telephone numbers, basically, with the odd exception. The actual bar, the footrest bar, that's 180 quid, which is, you know, this bar here is about 90 quid, you know, whatever. Oh, hello, are you alright? Yes, yeah, are you good? Yes, how's the piles? Jolly good. I'm just talking to the people on the computer.
Oh,
yes.
lovely.
Yes, those people, yes. So yes, £5. I'll order a pair next week. What else was I going to do? Oh yes, I'm going to order a bulb, a headlamp bulb. Yes, I'm going to order a headlamp bulb. I do only have high beam, but I came home on high beam the other day, and nobody flashed me, nobody was calling me a cunt or anything like that. So it's obviously not super powerful. But the good thing is about it, I could actually see where I was going. When I turned off the main roads onto the back road, got it up to 60 with the tailwind, yeah, which I was flabbergasted by. It was alright, I could see where I was going, no problem. The headlight on Nibbler, I've put an uprated bulb in, but I've not tried it out since, because he ain't got a mot on him. But that was tragic. Even like 50 miles an hour, it was terrible, absolutely terrible. But hey ho, you know, back in the day, man, we probably thought it was alright. So yeah, so that's my little job today. I wanted to investigate that, and you know, do you know what? Until the new footrest cover comes, a bloody Jubilee clip round that might secure it, but am I bothered? Not really. I mean, that's all it is. They're only push on. The rubber's, yeah, you can see, look, the rubber's well past its best, which brings me neatly on, almost in a planned segue, to the rear footrest rubbers. I'm going to clean the pins up, but look, I've only got to touch this rubber. Look, clean hand relatively for Jim. There you go. That rubber's really dry. These are about £8 actually, but considering they're pretty much never going to get used. But one thing I am going to do is that the rubber's dry basically, so I am going to chuck them in. Oh shit, I just tripped over the fucking bike lift. I'm going to chuck them in some stuff I've got up here. Look at the shelf of goodness. Where is it? It's hiding. Either that or it's in the other fucking shed. I've got some, I do believe it's called wintergreen oil somewhere. Have you got a shelf like this in your shed? You know, that you just basically chuck every can on, then can't find anything. Oh, where have I put that? I'm gonna have to look for it. I found it. It was actually right at the back. This is isopropyl rubbing alcohol, which basically is you know, you can use it to clean circuit boards, everything, but it's infused, correct word Jim, well done, with wintergreen. And basically what it does, this rejuvenates rubber. Not that kind of rubber, dirty boys. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to chuck these rubbers in this stuff, and what it does, the alcohol will pull it into the rubber. Pull off your rubber. But I soak it for a day, couple of days, take it out, literally drip dry, and what happens is the alcohol will evaporate, leaving the wintergreen oil in the rubber, and the rubber should, unless it's completely gone, go nice and supple again. Now I've rejuvenated carburetor rubbers with this as well. Will you shut up, you annoying personage? I'm trying to do top level 5-star content here and you're being annoying. I says I'm doing 5-star top content here and you're being annoying for the sake of being annoying.
Hello.
Yes. May I continue? Yes. that man practically brought me up, which explains a lot. My dad was never really hands-on dad. Not in the Jimmy Savile way either, you perverts. No, my dad basically consisted of the bookies, the pub, and slumped in front of football and horse racing. He loved his model kits, Lego, stuff like that, you know, he was brilliant, stuff like that. But as for the, you know, taking us down the park to play football or anything like that, no, never. But there you go. But yeah, so my Uncle Bernard, he used to take us out, him and his son, who's about 6 months younger than me. And yeah, we both turned out all right, I suppose. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dunk the rubber. That's the wind you can hear, and the rain. See if we can get it out. If we're going enough to go over. Oh, just. Splish, splish, splish. Right, leave those to cook. Your wintergreen's reusable. Doesn't get dirty or anything like that, or it shouldn't. I mean, I've had that a couple of years and just decanted it back into the bottle. Another big word, and the correct word too. So yeah, I'm going to replace that one. Well, I'll replace the pair, because, you know, for a tenner, at least, you know, your foot ain't going to slip off and, you know, whatever. But this is the rear ones just slide onto these, that orientation. I'll just clean these up. That's only light surface rust. I'll probably just put them in evapo rust. Then you've got the backing plate, so you slide the rubber on, put the backing plate on, chuck the pin through. These need wire wheeling, and then you stick a little cotter pin, split pin through. So they'll go in evapo rust, they may as well. Then they'll get a wire brushing and a greasing up, and then that'll be those. At some point I've got to repair the chain guard, or try and find one, or I might even get a generic one and just see if it'll fit. I don't like running without one, but to be honest, the design of this, I don't think the chain would cause a problem, to be honest. That's all nicely lubricated up. So until the screen comes, I'm going to leave the video at that. So that's where I am with the Suzuki, or Phyllis as we've named her. And then I will catch up with you guys when the screen arrives. But for now, I'll just put this video out as it is. So yes, look after yourselves, be nice to each other, send me loads of money, and yeah, see you in the next one. Ta-da. His beverage of choice, Fanta Zero. Very nice. Sponsor me, Fanta. Right, I've just got these plastic cups. I'm not going to do one of those videos, thank you. I'm going to put some evapo rust in and dump the these parts down here. We'll put those in, look. Yes, lovely. Lovely. And we'll put that in there, look. Lovely. Lovely. See, you get all the content on this channel, and it's all shite. Right, that was your end of video bonus content. I really am going now. bonus footage. I know one of these days I might get the hang of editing. Yeah, not gonna happen. Just in case any of you are interested, this is the underseat storage area of this. So not big enough to put a lid in, because I've tried, even my little piss pot won't fit in there, but that originally is where the toolkit went. I'm gonna have to make a little toolkit up, but that's your underseat storage. It's good enough for a bag of chips. That's your fuel tank. This is the rubber splash cover. I need to clean up a bit, but it's at 0.9 litres, so yeah, smaller than what I thought. But I had a look on a website, I think it's German, called Fuely, and it's real world owner fuel consumption, and a lot of people are getting like 110 to the gallon out of these, a mix of sort of urban and city, which is the majority of what this is going to be doing. Although I'm tempted to ride down the Foss to the Oxford mansion when the weather's a bit better. we'll see. You know, stick a can of petrol in the top box, and we'll see. But so yeah, so that was your bonus footage. Jim, just go. Let these people be. Bonus footage. God, you're being treated today, aren't you? Makes up for the lack of filmage over the Christmas New Year period. I don't know whether the refuel can will actually fit in the top box, because it's not a big, massive top box. I think you'll get probably a helmet in it. So let's find out. Let's learn together. Yes, let's learn together, which is quite often, yes, a safety word. Here we go. Right, that's. Oh, bloody hell. Piece of piss. And still room for sandwiches. And a flask of weak lemon drink. Oh, dead easy. Well, there you go. That has just more than doubled the range of the scoot. Fuel can in the back. Nice. Now, I have seen some auxiliary fuel cans that actually bolt to these rails. They're about 3 litres each, and they're the screw-through type. So I might even get one of them. I wonder if we could rig a little jockey line in, I wonder. The possibilities are endless with a mind like Jim's. Hey folks, back with the Suzuki. It's got a poor starting issue. It's only just started, but bear in mind it's probably self-inflicted, because I didn't drain the fuel tank before we put fresh fuel in it. So it's probably dragged some shit through it. So yeah, I've got the bones off it, and basically what I'm going to do, this here is, I think that is your fuel injection, and that's your throttle body. And usually when you turn the throttle on, that noise, I think, is the throttle body setting, and I don't think it is setting. I think it's stuck, because when I start it, it only runs for a couple of seconds. Ready? There you go. So anyway, what I'm going to do, somewhere in this system apparently there's an inline fuel filter, and I haven't found it yet, and I've took that apart and what have you, and I can't find a filter, so I'm probably going to have to put one in, but we'll make it a small one. So anyway, my task today, I'm going to take the throttle body off and clean it, because I've got some carb cleaner and what have you, and we'll just have a look. We'll just see how dirty it is. Okay, so the throttle body is off. That was 2 8mm bolts, and obviously disconnect the wiring loom for the electronical gubbly magicins. And now what I've got to do is obviously disconnect the cables, so we're just backing them off at the adjusters, and then they've got these little locking tabs, and when we back them up we can just lift it up enough to get rid of the locking tab and give us the slack to get it out of the that's the butterfly wheel for the throttle body. Throttle body is exactly like a carb tinkle, except your fuel injection is happening sort of down afterwards. It's happening after this just meters air basically, so there's no float bowl or anything like that. But they can get shit up. The throttle butterfly can get stuck, it can get muck around it, which means it's always partially open and stuff like that, or it just seizes up a bit. So that's the first port of call, is to have a look at this. Nice. But so far, I mean, access and stuff has not been too bad. But I think in the future, if this bike's going to have a long-term future, is yes, I think we possibly need to get the head and barrel blasted at some point, and then we'll see. I then would be interested in seeing what the pattern of the head is, because although the top end is rigged up for fuel injection, I actually think it's the same casting as what they use on you know, like RV 125 vans and stuff like that. I think it's almost a generic casting, and all they've done is they've put a fuel injection manifold on there instead of where you'd normally have a carburettor. If that's the case, there's big bore kits available. There's like 165cc big bore kits available. quite widespread, quite common, and it basically comes with the barrel, piston, gaskets, and sometimes a new head. A lot of the time you don't need the head because you're just up in the CC by changing the size of the barrel, piston, and sometimes the stroke. Sometimes it'll come with a new conrod. If it's a conrod kit, it's an engine out job and split it down, but that gives you a chance to refresh everything. Always look on the positive. And a lot of them come with cams as well. Your cam chain is in here, and it's a tiny little cam that goes in there, and sometimes you get a different cam as well to give you different valve timing. You'd be amazed what tuning parts are available for some of these engines. But anyway, in the meantime, we'll crack on. I'll get these cables off, and then I can get the throttle body on the bench, and we can have a look. Can you see that, I wonder? Yes. There's smeggage. There's definite smeggage. So this will require a bloody good clean. This is the airbox side, and normally when you get detritus between the airbox and the throttle flappage, it usually means that inside here is probably, this is the airbox by the way, that's probably that may contain some cheese eating friends, and as long as they've stayed within the airbox it's not an issue because a new element will sort it. As long as they haven't had a go at the rest of the bike and started to nibble wires because they're bastards for it, then we should be okay. Now I know this was kept in somebody's garden for a little while, and also there was a pipe missing off here. There was a pipe off here, which is this one, which could be airbox drain, I don't know, but airbox drain is, there's one here, and there's also a pipe there that had nothing on it, which seems a little odd to me because the air intakes are at the top. So I don't know, further investigation required. Yes, but so far I'm enjoying the experience. I'm learning as we go. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting it sorted, but that definitely needs a cleanage. Yes, and Uncle Steve's got my aqua jiggler at the minute, which would have been probably ideal, but it don't matter because I can soak it in some brake clean or something like that. But yes, I think we need to take some servos and shit off first, and just to see if they're allowed to do what they do, because they sort of set the idle and all that bollocks. So yes, interesting. Also, one thing I've noticed, this is your coil, and a coil is basically, you see this bar here, this bar is your earth for the coil basically, in layman's terms, which is why you always need like 2 points of contact on the frame for a coil. So if you ever replace a coil, make sure it's the correct size. And that bar goes through a load of windings basically. I'm going to do that again because I enjoyed it. Windings basically, and basically forms a rare earth magnet, and it takes 12 volts coming in from the signal, basically from your ignition signal, whether that be point or a computerized, and basically converts 12 volts. It's like a big capacitor, a coil. Takes 12 volts, stores it up, like faster than diarrhea, and then shoots it at your HT lead. And you're talking, I may have this wrong, but I'm sure somebody told me once that you're sort of talking, it converts 12 volts to many volts, enough to give you a fucking good whack. So I'm sure somebody said it was, like thousands of volts. I don't know how true that is, but yeah, so basically that is the coil's job. 12 volts in, stores the energy, whacks it out, and it does it on a timed fashion, which is what like a distributor cap does. It will go like to your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cylinders, whatever, and it's timed in such a way that the spark occurs at the correct time. If your timing's out, which on a modern motorcycle generally never happens because it's computerized. If your timing's out, it means the computer's fucked. But on a points bike, obviously you can set the timing. So yeah, so that's what that is. And I can see white fairy. I don't know whether you can, but I can. I can see white fairy there, and I can see white fairy there. Now sometimes that means corrosion, but sometimes it also means that a spider's built a house there, because they get in everywhere. I've even had spiders' nests inside weather sealed connectors, you know, with like the triple O-ring and all that lot. The little bastards all get in anyway. I don't know, I think they teleport through time and space. But there you go. So that's where I am with it at the moment. Oh, bit of Rick and Morty there for you. Like Bumface Holmes, auto mechanical detective. Case number XY394, made up numbers. Right, it looks like I've just had a quick look at the engine. See the problem? This area, magic pointing device. That area there looks like there's been a bit of blowback. So there is an O-ring there. O-ring. And I think what's happened is the O-ring's gone bad, or going bad. It's going hard, and we've got an air leak between the throttle body and the cylinder, which will cause piss poor running. It won't necessarily affect idle, but it'll affect higher rhythms. So yeah, have a look down the body. There you go. You can see that. I can't, because I can't be asked to move. So yeah, you do get a little bit of oil in intake passages, you know, a smearage, because obviously you'll have one of these hoses will be a crankcase blow by, and it will take the gases from the crankcase oil mist into the airbox, and then it burns it again. So don't be worried if you ever see a very, very small amount of oil in your airbox. It's normal, completely normal. If you get shit tons, you've got problems. But yes, so anyway, yeah, crack on. Investigation continues. Lot of water in the airbox. It could have been somebody's washed it with a hose or something like that, and they've got water in the intake, stuff like that. This is the air filter. This is the panel that faces forwards, I think. I don't know. Yeah, that's the back. As you see, there's beads of water on it. There's a sludge. I think somebody's got the hose on it, basically. You know, air filter's easy enough to replace. That's not an issue. And I should have done it when I serviced the bike, let's be fair. So yeah, we'll get an air filter, we'll get some foot pegs, and yeah, let's have a look. Ah, I see. The area where there appears to be blanked off. That's where the crankcase gases come in. So yeah, get that dried out, cleaned out, and I think it's good. No sign of cheese eating friends, which is good, but because there was water in the airbox, there's going to be moisture there. It sat 2 years. That moisture would then lead to corrosion in the intake pipes and stuff like that. It's just going to happen naturally, mate. So if that's the extent of the trouble that I've got to worry about, a quick clean up of the throttle bodage and stuff like that, we should be good. So it ran fine. It ran absolutely fine. So it might have even been, that water might have been from the other day, because when I went to work on it the other day, it was pissing down, and also when I came back, it was pissing down. So there's every chance that water got in there. I mean, the water trap's on the bottom. That looks like a quick release, and it's probably ride it in the rain you know, do the water trap. Easy maintenance. But yeah, happy so far. Guessifying now, but I reckon I've pinpointed it down to the injector stroke pump, which is one unit. Basically this is like a pulse pump, and when it's activated and stuff, you see this little end bit, just magic pointing device, finger, the end bit there. I think that should go in and out and meter fuel, which is kept in the body. That's a return pipe. The feed pipe is on the bottom. Obviously when the bike's running, that's running all the time, like that. And when you first turn the bike on, it primes it. But that end ain't moving. I think the plunger's stuck. So I'm going to attempt to have a look at it, basically. Which is, I think, that end cap screws out. Dunno, I'm learning. If we fuck it, we fuck it. And I expect they're probably quite a lot to replace, so we're going to be doing some carefulling. Yes, I've got no idea how much you can fucking see. Right, that's the end out the fuel injector stroke pump. Right, it's a closed end which shuts the fuel off, and then this end you've got an inlet hole from the pump, and inside that inlet end is this, which is the inlet. And I'm guessing how it works is it forms a build-up of pressure, and then, if you can see, there's a little plunger in there. I don't know if you can see. There you go. And I think when the pressure is applied, it should open the end up like that. See that opening up? Hope so. I can't fucking see. There you go, and that meters the fuel. I think that's blocked. Yes, I do, because I've primed it with GT85 and brake clean and all that lot, and turned the ignition on, and it should then prime the fuel, and it ain't. So I think that's blocked. So I'm going to now try and find a way to unblock it. Hopefully, by the look of it, it looks like it's two-piece, and hopefully we can split it and clean it. Well, that's the longest it's ran so far. I managed to breathe through the fuel valve, put it all back together. I've probably got the idle set a little too high, but unless you put an electronic tachograph on the HT wires, you can't tell. But that's the longest it's ran. So I think that tiny little valve inside was blocked, which would make sense. But not, obviously it's not going to run right without the air filter. I'm still going to take the throttle body off and clean it, because I haven't done that yet. The steam you can see is all like the GT85 burning off. Yeah, so we'll clean the throttle body next.